Alright, hello and welcome back to the Outer Worlds. I modified some settings.
You wretched contraption! Does nothing in this city work anymore?
Because apparently at some point the video settings got messed up again. This game just does that from time to time. Not real sure why, but it does what it does. Well, she is from a very fancy
Today marks
place.
a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams, and predictive models,
Is it me, or could each of these homes... There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial-grade cleaning solvent in desperation.
Halcyon is healthier and more.
Ooh. Very shiny floor.
Marilyn, is that you?
Loss! We certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble.
We'll be polite.
I don't know what to say. He's usually not like this. Come on, you're supposed to help me make an impression. Anyway,
Not very
you're probably
mature.
wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right? Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
I mean, we had other business in Byzantium, so it's not like we went out of our way. But you can't just kick us out. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors.
Jeez, lady.
Just a second. You had the floors redone with real Terran marble? Since when can you afford that?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
What did you do?
Why, we did what any grieving parents would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
That's the other problem.
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we? Shh! Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind. She hasn't changed a bit, I see.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Let's just get out of here, Captain. Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time. Let's talk outside. Can we talk? Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. I wanted them to get upset. I just thought it would play out differently. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed. Shh, I'm getting to the good part. I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either, the leather's fake but the scars are real, or, oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug?
Jeez.
Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me, to come back and make a big scene. Then Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain. I'm used to rough situations. Like when someone loads your pistol with blanks and strands you in a Marauder moonbase, or traps you in an airlock with an angry mantis worm. But I want to talk about me now. Unless you mean the kind who'll look out for you to blink so they could swipe your bits. The galaxy's not exactly crawling with those. Anyway, I don't want to sift through this lousy experience for meaningful life lessons. I'm mad, and I want to do something about it. Something like... Wait a second. What if I could get that money? I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves. Something on your mind? I sure hope you negotiated for a raise with this Phineas guy. Ever notice how this job gets bigger and more dangerous every time he calls in? He's asking a lot, Captain. Makes me wonder what your angle is. I knew a doctor like him once. He had a patient complaining of ankle pain, so he amputated the man's foot. Wasn't even the right one. Point is, good intentions don't count for shit. And nothing's more dangerous than a crusader with a cause. Besides, none of this is your mess, so why go dirtying your hands with it? Guess I hadn't looked at it that way. Still, Phineas isn't your only option. The board's put a bounty on his head, and they've got more than enough bits to pay it. I've got no love for the corporations, but they know how to take care of their people. The ones at the top, anyway. Don't think of it as being a lackey. Think of it as doing a job and getting paid really, really well. I know you want to save the day, but don't forget to look after yourself. No one else out here's going to. Hey, don't get any ideas. I'm just making sure you last long enough to pay me at the end of this. Anything else?
Oh, let's go do the insurance thing. It's
Nice thing about traveling with the
apparently
captain.
not far.
We meet all sorts of new people.
Sure. Best part is when they pay us.
We never really had new folks in Edgewater. Dr. Ellie, you ever wonder if maybe we got some things in common?
This isn't another thing about wrenches and guns, is it?
Because you're a surgeon and I'm a mechanic. We both fix things, heal them up.
Hate to break it to you, but before I got to Groundbreaker, I fixed more noses than bones. Nowadays, I probably shoot more than I save.
Oh.
Alright. Starting to wonder where this place was.
I guess we're going to Fallbrook.
You'll have to make things complicated. Journal. Out by the sun. Let's see if we can figure this out. This one's been going on for quite a long time.
Anti-Clear's facial mask and cream leaves you feeling fresh and tingling. Do not operate.
The dissidents actually took over the
I've always loved that sculpture.
You, with the hips. Don't speak. Hold that posture for a moment while I admire you. You have a natural contrapposto, my dear. The way you rest your weight against your hip suggests a certain rugged charisma possessed only by the mighty primal and the well-traveled spacer. Splendid. I love it. Ah, Celeste, you've done it again. I knew from the moment I laid eyes on you that I'd found my muse. I'm Celeste Jolicoeur, and you, my dear, are exactly what Byzantium needs. Darling, you and that brutish swagger of yours have been on my mind the moment you stepped into my studio. I'm working on a new line of clothing that will shock this city to its core, and I'd like your help. What do you say, my dear? Care to make history with me?
Alright, this sounds like it's gonna be crazy. Let's do it.
Everything I need to know can be deduced from a first impression. You're an outsider. You're exotic. You carry a whiff of barbarism and adventure. You're the embodiment of everything I want in my new line. Marvelous! You and I are gonna wake this city up like a cold splash of wine to the face. What I need is a survey of the outside world. What does the common laborer wear? How do the wild-eyed madmen of Monarch dress themselves? I've heard rumors, but I require samples. Also, I expect you to model for me. Oh, you cad! You'll be the talk of Byzantium once I'm done with you. I'll need you to model for me the following: the apparel of an iconoclast, the armor of a marauder, and a full ensemble of spacer gear. helmet included.
Pretty sure I sold all that
And
stuff.
when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by real spacers. None of that garbage spacer's choice pedals.
No tall shoes, though. I mean it.
You have the bearing and demeanor of a born model. You're going to absolutely murder this job. I expect you'll cut an exquisite figure. What else do you need to know? I've heard rumors of these iconoclasts, half-mad zealots rampaging across the surface of Monarch. You'll have to find your own way into Monarch. I can't help you. Even if I could, I prefer not to interfere with your creative process. Fabulous!
You don't gotta be so forward about my reasons, Captain.
Let me get a good look at you. Turn around, please, darling. My word. Such muscular shoulders. You're a vision, dear.
I am no such thing, ma'am.
Nonsense. You're absolutely lovely. Chin up now. I have just the thing for you. Let me do a back-of-the-envelope calculation. Materials, labor, licensing and copyright. There. Love. That's the ultimate luxury, darling. Love. Oh, gracious me.
I don't get why that's funny, ma'am.
Oh, my cherub. Who woos for love anymore? That's so... precious. All right, Captain. Here is the absolute best I can do for you. Darling, do I look like an amateur? I read her measurements by eye. And don't you ask, because they're no one's business but her own. There are some things I simply cannot skimp on, darling. Such a lovely young lady deserves the best. Now stand back. Back! I'll enter the settings and get these machines spinning. You'll be broke to bespoke in merely an hour. And there we are, my darling girl. I wish you a splendiferous evening. And if you don't mind my asking, have you any interest in modeling?
What? Oh, no, ma'am. All them eyes staring at me? I couldn't. No way, no how. I get scared just thinking on it.
I wish you weren't so shy, my Violet. You truly are beautiful. I hope your date sees that as clearly as I. If I were an enterprising spacer in need of a wardrobe, I'd probably head to the Groundbreaker.
Oh, can you believe this outfit? It's so handsome, I'm almost afraid to touch it. Well, I guess that's everything then. After all this time, I just have to actually do it now. You know, there's a part Junlei's been looking for.
Are you kidding me?
To fix up the air cyclers? They only carried them on big colony ships, like the Hope. I know. For a while, it felt like everything I did was a little bit of help. And it meant I didn't have to ask her to be mine. Not yet. Not for real. Next time we dock with Groundbreaker, I'm doing it. I'll send June a message and ask her over. Oh, this is real scary, Captain. I'm grateful for all you done.
I want to go wrap this thing up. This quest has been going on forever. But let's see if we got... what else we got here? Mechanical tunnels.
What's gotten into block mining?
You don't much like me, huh, Dr. Ellie?
It's nothing personal. I'm just not the touchy-feely type.
It's just... you seem fine with the others. Did I do something to make you unhappy with me?
You gotta stop taking things so personal. You're setting yourself up for a letdown.
You think the privy's gold-plated too?
Trying to get downstairs, I guess. And pretty much every door in here seems to be fake. Yep, that's not a real door. What are we even doing in here? Journal. Yeah, the key to the front door. That doesn't really help. There's no button I'm missing or something, is there? I have a bad feeling about this. I'm hoping there really are aliens, so that'll be fun.
That's top-of-the-line equipment. Better than most hospitals, even.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside? My what? Let's talk about this. Please. I think there's been a crucial misunderstanding. Just give me a second to explain myself. If you still want to shoot me, at least it'll be for an accurate reason. If you came looking for some elaborate scheme, it isn't here. All I'm doing is trying to keep Halcyon alive.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. Not for lack of trying. I wanted to save them all, but I wasn't strong enough. There are other teams. We didn't want to experiment on human test subjects, so we used the only resources we had. Each other. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. The board also has its brand to uphold. If you can't trust the brand, what else is there? Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off Halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? What kind of scientist would I be if I held to a promise like that? I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. Wrong answer.
Incoming!
Oh, that's pretty straightforward. It's suspicious how little convincing she actually took, but whatever. It's Phineas's problem, I suppose.
Hey! Stop that! What do you think you're doing? Oh, my mistake.
Does she really care that I'm stealing stuff? How do I get down here?
They got the drop on us.
I thought you were...
Captain!
Well, we ended up killing her anyway, I guess. Oops. I got a couple things to go back to Groundbreaker for now. What else have we got here, though? Guess we'll go to Groundbreaker. Get a couple things cleared up that way. I guess I could have just fast traveled back to the ship, probably.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aether Waves.
All they ever do is talk about the Aether Wave serials.
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.